welcome back to Jack and Boys Reviews. Today I'm going to be reviewing Nightmare on Elm Street, the Ultimate Collection DVD box set, and the remake. As well. So basically, with the Ultimate box set, so that's the front cover, that's the artwork on the front of the cover. The spine. Yeah, mine's a bit beaten up because I picked it up off a car boot sale for about £8. Let's have a look on the back. So on the back it goes through all the films. So you get all 7 films with this box set. So that's artwork on the back. Right, so inside, that's the side. Got a picture of Freddy Krueger's eyes. Right, so there's a little booklet inside. Just shows you bits and pieces throughout the film and that. Bits and tells you about each film and that, I suppose. Put that back in there. Right, so there's a bit of artwork inside. So it's the first disc. Let's turn it a bit, twist it that way a bit. So that's the first disc. Nightmare on Elm Street. One of my favourite ones. Then we've got. No, this disc is the wrong way around for. Then we've got Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge. Then we've got Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, The Dream Warriors. Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4, The Dream Master. Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5, The Dream Child. Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. And Wes Craven's New Nightmare. And underneath, just move that disc out of the way. Oh, that's right. There you go. So that's a picture of all the covers if you brought them separately. So the first goes in the order they go in. That would be the front covers if you brought them separately on DVD. Just let you get a closer look. So as you can see, all the pictures. Right, let's put that back in there for a second. Right, so there's that. I'm going to talk a bit about the films in a minute. I'm going to show you the remake. This one was the 2010 remake. Now, the remake it's a remake of the first Nightmare on Elm Street. So that's what you got. That's the front cover. That's the back. The spine. The disc. Nothing really good inside. Right, so this one is a remake of the first film, as I've just said. Right, so I'm going to talk a bit about the films. So spoiler alerts if anybody hasn't seen them. So in the first film, starts off with a girl called Tina, and she starts she dreams about this man with a burnt face, which is Freddy Krueger. And then her high school friend Nancy has the same dreams about the same man. She keeps dreaming about him, that he's trying to kill this man with razor fingers. And she goes to a sleep clinic place, and in the dream, she grabs his hat and pulls it off his head. And she says to her mum, she reads the name Fred Krueger, and the mother tells her that Fred Krueger can't hurt her because he's dead. And then she tells stories that Fred Krueger was a murderer, and the parents of Springwood hunted him down and they burnt him. But as his revenge, he came back in the dreams of the parents that burnt him to get the children, as is in the film. So that's the first film. In the end of the film, he disappears and he dies. Second film, Freddy's Revenge, is a few years later, like a few years later, and there's a boy called Jesse, and they move into like Nancy's old house, and he keeps having dreams as well. But this time, Fred Krueger's possessing him. Like, he's possessed. He tries to take over his body, but in the end, he overpowers him. And then, in the third film, The Dream Warriors, it starts off with a girl called Kristen, and she's having a dream again, like, because she's part of the Elm Street kids, and she goes to like a psychiatric ward because she tries to kill herself. Well, no, she doesn't try and kill herself. It's basically she goes to the mirror and the tap turns into Freddy Krueger's hand and slits her wrist, and their dream warriors all join together. And obviously Nancy comes back again, but in the end of the film she dies. And then we've got the Dream Master, which Kristen's back in it again. But in the third film they put Freddy to rest. Like, they buried him in a scrapyard, they put him to rest, his bones got buried and it was ended. But in this one here, he comes back and he kills the 3 previous people from the third film. And the Dream Master, Alice is this new one called Alice is a Dream Master, and every time one of them dies, she gets their powers, and in the end, she has revealed evil's true form, and it will be destroyed. So Freddy Krueger dies in the end, right? The Dream Child, Alice is having a baby, and Freddy Krueger, he's trying to be reborn basically, and he has to sort of bring his mother back, and he gets reborn. He comes back, and it's not one of my favourite ones. After number 4, I just like them up to number 4, but I don't mind number 5 and number 6, but they could have done better with them. And in this one, in the end, if I remember, he gets taken back to hell again. Then Freddy's dead, the final nightmare. So basically, everyone in Elm Street's left because Freddy Krueger just keeps killing everybody. He keeps killing he keeps killing the children, the parent, like the children. He keeps murdering them in their dreams, and and in the end, his daughter. It turns out he has a daughter called Maggie, and she goes like adoption things. And the reason you find out the reason why he was doing it is because they took his daughter away from him. And in the end, he gets blowed up. They blow him up with a stick of dynamite, and it just ends. And and then there's Wes Craven's New Nightmare, which brings Nancy back again, but this time it makes it look like a film. So Freddy Krueger's a film, so like you see the actors of the previous films, and they're talking about the creation of Freddy Krueger and all that. But but with Wes Craven's New Nightmare, it's one I avoid watching, to be honest. I really avoid watching Wes Craven's New Nightmare. It's not one of the best ones in the series, but up to the first film is scary. I find scary. The second film is also scary. The third one sort of goes to like a comedy. The fourth one sort of brings it back. The fifth one, the fifth one's, it's okay, but yeah. Freddy's Nightmare is like, they've done everything. Freddy's Dead in the Final Nightmare. It's like they've done everything, and they can't do no more. And then Wes Craven's New Nightmare just doesn't even follow in the timeline of the series. So, but this also is connected to, so in my previous videos I was talking about Jason Goes to Hell. In the end you see Freddy Krueger's hand come out the ground. Well, this is, so Jason's Goes to Hell. After you watch this film, you'd watch Jason Goes to Hell, and then, or whatever, you'd watch like the if you wanted to, you could watch the Nightmare on Elm Streets, then you could watch the Friday the 13th, you could watch Jason Goes to Hell, Freddy vs. Jason, Jason X. That's the order that I used to watch them in. But I just never watched Wes Craven's New Nightmare. It's not one of my favourites. So that is all you really get with that box set. It's a good box set, but there's better ones out there now. But I can't see the point in buying another DVD box set just for the sake of same films but a different cover. Don't know why people do that. But that is basically all you get with that box set. It's an okay box set. And the new film, well, comparing to the new films, the old Freddy Krueger is better. It's more thing. This film, I watched it, me and my cousin, I brought it, and he wouldn't give it a chance. He watched it, but he like sort of made his mind up that this, but it has got its frightening moments. So all the characters in this one are named after the characters in the old one. So like you got Nancy, Jesse, Kristen, all them ones. Like in this one, it's obviously not the same actor playing as Freddy Krueger. But yeah, no, it's worth a watch. It is worth a watch. But in versus wise, I mean, I always prefer this one. Always do. This one is the best of all. But yeah, and also I picked this up a couple of years back as well. It's up a couple of years back. It's obviously a plastic one. It's this plastic and glove. Well, the glove that came with it wasn't very good, so I sort of made my own one. But that is a Freddy Krueger glove, and that is that. But yeah, no, that's all I can really say about the Freddy Krueger films, really, and that. But yeah, definitely worth watching if you haven't seen them. This film here is also worth watching, but it's like you either hate it or you like it. But that's all I can really say about it. If you want to see any more of my videos, please like and subscribe. And that's all I can say.